This is the other world, a mystical realm that exists as a bridge between the human world and the spirit world. Before a colossal spirit tree, the elder spirit stands with a man named Aizen and a group of young children. "This is it," she announces. She gestures to the massive tree. "The spirit trees will grow no further than this one, and sometimes it needs a little bit of trimming. I'll leave this to you then." Aizen accepts with a confident smile. "Of course, you can count on me, elder spirit." He then raises his hand, beginning an incantation. "O mighty winds of the other world, let me borrow your power through my words." A swirling band of pure energy wraps around his arm as he commands it. "Turn them into my blade." In an instant, the blade of wind flies out, creating a perfect arc aimed at the tree's trunk. It slices cleanly through the ancient wood. As the top half of the great tree begins to groan and tilt, the children watch from below, their faces filled with awe. The massive treetop plummets towards the ground. It crashes into a nearby body of water, and the children erupt in cheers. The impact sends a colossal splash into the air. One of the boys shouts, "Sensei, that was awesome." Aizen turns to his young students, a warm smile on his face. "You all are children of the spirits, so you'll get a hold of this power sooner or later." He offers them a piece of wisdom, but before you can cast the strongest spell, take your time to contemplate what effect it may bring first. In unison they reply, "Yes, Aizen sensei." Later the elder spirit thanks him. "Thank you for always guiding the children." Aizen simply waves it off. "It's just compensation for letting me stay here. This is no big deal, so call me whenever you need my help again." With his work done for the day, Aizen Atisu, the prophet, heads back to the cottage he has called home for the last 20 years. He walks up the path to his front door. He opens the door announcing his return. "I'm home, Rin." A young elf-like girl, startled from her sweeping, turns to face him. Her face lights up with a bright, welcoming smile. "Welcome back, Aizen sensei. This is Rin Rudastand, his apprentice from a long-lived race." She holds up a letter. "Someone sent you mail again." Aizen looks at her, his expression turning serious. "Rin, there is something I need to tell you." He makes a sudden, shocking declaration. "I'm going to go on a journey around the world." Rin is left completely stunned. This marks the beginning of a new adventure for the prophet and his apprentice. Inside, Rin follows him down the hallway, trying to process the news. "What happened, Aizen sensei?" she asks. "Why did you decide to go so suddenly?" Aizen begins to explain. "It's been 20 years since the demon blade fell ill. And since I was summoned to this world to help, he's got much better now, not to mention." He pauses at a doorway, a grin spreading across his face. "Hold on, come in and you'll see." He opens the door to his study, revealing a coffee table completely buried under a mountain of letters. Rin stares at the sheer volume of mail. "Oh my," she gasps, "these piles of letters, you've been reading through them all." Aizen simply replies, "Yep." He elaborates, "These are all the mails that the other apprentices sent me. It took me a while to bring them all out. Even now, every single one of them still sends me a letter each month to report their situation." Rin recalls, "I remember you asking me to read them once." Aizen smiles warmly, "And they were all good news." With a gentle smile of her own, she asks, "May I read them again?" Rin settles onto the couch and begins to read, surrounded by the correspondence of Aizen's past. Most of Aizen's former apprentices have grown up to become legends in their own right, famously known as the 100 Geniuses. They've become sages, overlords, supreme generals, headmasters of advanced magic academies, and even rulers of entire empires. But as Rin reads, she realizes that inside these letters from world-shaking figures are the words of children, joyfully showing their sensei their achievements and waiting for his praise. They share stories of the lands, cities, and inventions they've created, all while recommending destinations for their master to one day visit. Aizen reflects on their true intentions, "So they want to show me the beauty of this world, right?" His eyes light up with a new resolve. "That's why, I want to go on a trip to the human world and see what it's like." He considers the problem. "The thing is, those guys live in all kinds of luxurious households now. If I let them know about my trip, they'll run around making a huge fuss about it. I just end up bothering them." He lays out his strategy. "So I've decided I'll travel on my own and explore new things. If I ever get the chance to meet them, a single greeting is enough." Rin's eyes sparkle as she puts it all together. "I see, so you're planning to go incognito, am I right?" Aizen confirms with a simple, "Yes." Rin picks up a letter, her excitement growing. "Sensei," she exclaims, "to put it simply, you want to return to the human world, am I right?" He nods, "Yeah." A confident smirk plays on his lips. "After all, I did have the experience of recovering myself 20 years ago." With his decision made, Aizen raises his hand. He begins to cast a spell, his voice echoing with power. "Oh, letters lying in this room, mark my words." Rin watches, her breath catching in her throat. Aizen continues the incantation. "For my journey ahead, please guide me to the most suitable path." At his command, the hundreds of letters on the table begin to glow and lift into the air. The envelopes swirl around the room in a magical vortex, and Rin looks on in absolute awe. The prophet's magic, she whispers. Using his understanding of magic words, he holds the power to control every being in this world. As the letters dance around him like a storm of paper, Aizen explains the spell's purpose. The letter that gets chosen right here, he declares, will show me the recommended destination that I will go. A single envelope gently floats down into his outstretched hand. At this moment my journey around the world begins, he says, turning to his apprentice. Rin, you are free to go wherever you want, but Rin's mind is already made up. All right, then I want to come too, please take me with you, Aizen-sensei. Outside a rustic home, a man named Aizen calls out impatiently, Rin, what's taking you so long? From inside, the sound of frantic shuffling is followed by Rin's voice. I'm almost done, please hang on. Suddenly the door bursts open and Rin dashes out. She strikes a pose with a brilliant smile. Tada, sorry for making you wait. Rin's eyes light up when she sees her master dressed in his old adventuring gear. Aizen-sensei, you're wearing your old outfit again. Aizen grins back, Rin, I guess you're ready for your adventure then. As they walk away from the house they've called home, the journey officially begins. Aizen turns to his companion with a serious question. Do you really want to accompany me, Rin? I told you that you don't have to assist me as an apprentice anymore. But Rin just smiles brightly, dismissing his concern. This isn't about being your apprentice or anything like that. She explains earnestly, I just want to take care of your daily needs just like I always do. You said I can do whatever I want. So you're okay with this, right? Aizen's resolve melts into a warm smile. Of course, it would be less troublesome for me if you're coming along, so I'm not against it. Rin's face absolutely lights up with joy. Walking side by side, Rin puffs her chest out. Is that so? As expected of Rin, Aizen adds, to be honest, I've been preparing for this day for a long time. They stop in a wide-open field. All right, Aizen announces, I'm going to summon the Gate of Light now. He plants his staff into the ground, and a powerful aura begins to emanate from him. In a blinding flash, a colossal, ornate gate materializes out of thin air. The two adventurers stand before the towering structure, dwarfed by its sheer scale. The gate hums, glowing with an otherworldly energy. Rin looks at the portal, a wave of nostalgia washing over her. It's been 20 years since our last trip to the outside world, Aizen replies, yeah, actually. He grins, a spark of adventure in his eyes. I'm getting a lot more excited than I thought I would. But just as they're about to proceed, a figure begins to coalesce from the gate's light. An ethereal woman with long, flowing hair appears before them. It's the Elder Spirit, so it really is you guys, she says with a gentle smile. Aizen, you're really planning to leave, aren't you? Aizen recognizes her instantly, Elder Spirit. Rin bows gratefully. Thank you for taking care of us all this time. Aizen explains his departure. My apprentices have been trying to contact me several times, so I guess it's time for me to go. The Elder Spirit reminisces fondly. This reminds me of your first time arriving in this world. I really appreciate you letting me stay here to recover from my injuries. Aizen observes, you haven't changed at all in 20 years. He looks up at the sky, contemplating. Maybe it's because of this world's strange time flow that my body's aging has slowed. I guess that explains why my appearance didn't change. He bows his head respectfully. Thank you for everything, Elder Spirit. She shakes her head. There's no need to thank me. Besides, the Demon Blade event was also my responsibility. She glances behind her, and you have been taking good care of my children. A group of young spirits rushes forward, their faces full of adoration. Sensei, thank you for everything you've taught us. Aizen is pleasantly surprised. You're all here. The Elder Spirit makes a promise. If you ever need anything related to this world, you can always reach out to me, and these little spirits you taught, they will definitely be stronger the next time you see them. Aizen extends his hand. Of course. The Elder Spirit meets his gaze. When the time comes, I will surely see you again. They shake hands, sealing their promise. The spirit children wave frantically. Goodbye, Sensei, goodbye, Rin-san. Aizen and Rin wave back as they stand before the gate's brilliant light. Take care, everyone. All right, see you next time. As they turn to face their new journey, Aizen grins at Rin. We're keeping this trip a secret from my other apprentices, so let's travel around the world together. Rin's eyes sparkle with excitement. Yes, Aizen-sensei, together they face the portal. And with a final flash, they step through. Meanwhile, far away in the center of Riga City, a powerful ruler named Duke Dario slams his fist down in triumph. Finally. In a vast chamber, robed mages conclude a long and exhausting ritual. Duke Dario addresses them, his voice echoing with excitement. After all these years, the prophecy has finally come to pass. Everyone, we have the result we expected. His followers look on in exhausted relief. Really? Dario nods. Yes, you may all rest now. As he walks away, his mind races. All the resources I poured into these monthly rituals finally paid off. Even with all this, I'm nowhere near master's level, but... His determination surges. A fierce grin spreads across his face. He's finally back. This is Duke Dario, one of Aizen's former apprentices and the current ruler of this kingdom. he issues a command to his royal guard, order every guard in the city, search for a man who calls himself the prophet at once, he knows it must be him. A prophet this powerful, there's no one else but him. Years ago, Aizen's guidance set Dario on his path, and he attributes all of his success to his master. His eyes burn with an almost fanatical loyalty. Sensei, I will do everything I can to find you, and then you will finally earn the fortune you deserve. Among all of Aizen's students, Dario's worship is by far the most intense. Completely unaware of the kingdom-wide search about to begin, Aizen and Rin step out of the gate of light into a new world, the portal vanishing behind them. They gaze out at the landscape, a town nestled in the distance. Aizen shields his eyes, a nostalgic smile on his face. Oh, this brings back memories. Over there is the city of pioneers, if I remember correctly. Rin nods happily. That's right, people say that it was here a long time ago. Aizen adds, and I heard they've changed a lot of things, that life is more comfortable now. He continues, they mentioned that in the letters they sent me, which is how I know a bit about this world. I guess you know it too, huh, Rin? Rin taps her temple confidently. That's right, our race possesses a remarkably good memory. She puffs her chest out with pride. I memorized all of the letters you gave me, so if you need any information for your trip, leave it to me. Aizen smiles warmly. Thank you, Rin. As they walk, Aizen takes in the managed landscape. I already knew these forests and meadows were being tended to, but seeing it in person is entirely different from reading about it on paper. He sets their course. First of all, let's head over to the city. There are some places I want to visit, he says. Rin replies excitedly, all right. But she suddenly stops, her attention caught by something. Oh, Aizen-sensei. She points with a look of alarm at his staff. The book at the top of your staff, why is it glowing? Aizen glances down at the artifact, a calm smirk on his face. Oh this, I guess it sensed my sealed power. Rin's eyes widen in utter shock. Sealed power. As Aizen and his apprentice Rin travel, the magical book on his staff begins to glow with an intense light, catching Rin by surprise. The light pulses, guiding them toward the entrance of a dense forest. Aizen confirms his suspicion. It's reacting. That means we're headed in the right direction. As they venture deeper into the woods, Aizen begins to recount a story from his past. 20 years ago, he explains, I won the battle against the sword demon, but in turn, I got beaten black and blue and lost the ability to control my powers. He pauses for a moment, a look of determination on his face. Therefore, they arrive in a clearing, standing before a massive, gnarled tree. I've sealed most of my powers somewhere ever since. Without hesitation, Aizen raises his staff towards the ancient tree. The staff resonates with the seal, causing the tree to erupt in a brilliant, magical light. A swirling orb of pure energy is pulled from the very heart of the wood. Rin watches the overwhelming display of power with concern, crying out, Sensei. Aizen turns to her with a reassuring smile. It's all right, Rin. The light coalesces, taking the form of a glowing magical contract. As the seal's conditions are confirmed, the magic begins to unravel, releasing the power held within. The book on Aizen's staff flies open, its pages flipping wildly as it absorbs the returning energy. With a final snap, the book closes, the retrieval complete. Rin looks on in amazement. So you've got your powers back. Aizen nods confidently. Exactly, if you read through the last page. The book displays a new entry. Retrieval complete. Skill, power amplification acquired. A satisfied smile spreads across Aizen's face. Looks like my powers are back. Rin's eyes sparkle with excitement. Really? That means Aizen-sensei is even stronger than before. He chuckles, haha, even stronger. He then clarifies, the skill power amplification only increases a bit of your ability, not exponentially, I think. As they resume their journey, Rin asks, Sensei, are you going on this trip to retrieve your powers? Aizen shakes his head. No, this just happened to be along the way. My ultimate goal is to visit my apprentice's dwellings, he explains. I just have the feeling I need to get my powers back first. Aizen stretches, relishing his restored strength. At any rate, the feeling of being at full power again really is incredible. Suddenly, Rin's elf ear twitches, picking up an unnerving sound. She turns to him with a serious expression. Aizen-sensei, please be careful, he calmly replies, yeah. They both stop, now fully aware of a hostile presence. I knew I sensed something, Aizen mutters, as three shadowy figures emerge from the bushes. Heavy, monstrous feet stomp onto the path. A pair of hungry, predatory eyes lock onto them. The beasts snort, revealing sharp boar-like tusks. A pack of 4 lesser trolls stands before them, growling. Aizen is puzzled. Those beasts, they're supposed to be in the outskirts of town. Why are they here in the middle of the forest, he wonders aloud. Rin narrows her eyes, stating, their bloodthirst is obvious. Lightning crackles between Rin's fingers as she prepares a spell. Should I take care of them my way? But Aizen raises a hand to stop her, a wicked grin spreading across his face. No, I'll do it. This is a chance to test my powers too. With his full strength returned, Aizen steps forward to face the pack of monsters alone. Without warning, a pack of 4 ferocious, boar-like monsters known as lesser trolls burst from the tree line, charging straight for them. But as the beasts thunder across the field, Aizen remains perfectly still, his grimoire already open and humming with power. A calm, almost cold smile spreads across his face. I shall send you off. A torrent of fire erupts around him as he unleashes his spell, Blazing Spear. One of the trolls has just enough time for its eye to widen in shock, before the inferno consumes it completely. Its final, agonizing roar is drowned out by the crackling flames. Aizen stands unfazed as the fire rages behind him, watching from a safe distance. Rin's eyes sparkle with admiration. Wow, Sensei's magic is as strong as ever. The entire pack is helpless, writhing in the magical blaze. Aizen watches the flames with a thoughtful expression. The fire's raging even more intensely than when I used it in the other world, he muses. The amplification power must be working. In moments the fire subsides, leaving nothing but charred remains. As the smoke clears, Aizen approaches the piles of ash. He reaches down and plucks a small, glowing object from the cinders. Holding it up he smiles. It's the magic stone. These magic stones are valuable treasures dropped by beasts. They're incredibly versatile and can be sold for a high price or exchanged for goods, making them a vital resource for any adventurer. Now then, Aizen announces, we've gotten rid of the obstacles, let's walk to the city. They set off on their journey, following a peaceful stream. A well-maintained stone path leads them through the countryside towards a town nestled in the distance. Aizen takes in the scenery with a content sigh. The road has been neatly fixed and the stream looks nice. It seems time has made this place somewhat easier to live in. He continues, everything's serene, it puts people at ease. Rin smiles brightly, agreeing with her master, it sure does, sensei. But their peaceful walk is interrupted when they spot a woman frantically searching for something in the grass ahead. She's in a state of panic. What do I do? If it's not there, the warehouse won't open, and everyone will be in danger. Suddenly she looks up and notices Aizen and Rin. She quickly gets to her feet and calls out to them. Running over, she asks urgently, please excuse me for interrupting, but have you seen a jade-colored key by any chance? She holds up her hands to show its size, but Aizen shakes his head. No, unfortunately, we've just arrived, so we haven't seen anything like that. The woman's face falls in despair. As I thought, what to do now? There's barely any time left. She turns away, her voice filled with desperation. No, I have to find it, it must be around here somewhere. Aizen steps forward with a kind smile. If it's all right, shall we lend you a hand? Her eyes light up with surprise and hope. You'd help me look. But that's no good, I shouldn't hold you up. Aizen simply places a hand on his chest, his expression confident and knowing. It wouldn't take much time, in fact the one finding it would be you. A young woman begins to recount her story to Aizen and Rin. I was picking herbs around here when a kobold suddenly showed up, and I had to chase it away. In a flashback, we see her frantically waving a bottle to scare off the reptilian creature. Then the key's chain broke somehow, she explains, and before I knew it the key was gone. Aizen listens patiently to her panicked tale. I understand, he says calmly, please give me a moment. He kneels down, his staff planted firmly beside him. Placing his palm flat against the stone path, the ground beneath it begins to ripple like water as he chants, O Earth. Closing his eyes, Aizen focuses his energy. Send me your words. He makes his request to the spirits. I wish to be led to the key that was once on this girl's belt. A faint aura of light envelops Aizen as his magic takes effect. The woman watches, bewildered and a little nervous. Is everything all right? Aizen rises to his feet, his spell complete. Yes, he confirms. He turns to the woman. You also notice that you dropped it around that area, right? She looks towards a fallen log in the distance. Why, yes, that's right. A slight smile plays on Aizen's lips. Not quite, he clarifies. For now, I can only say I know where it is. Her eyes widen with hope. Did you find it? Aizen's magic had shown him a vision of the past, the moment she chased the kobold away. He saw exactly how the key's chain snagged on a jutting branch of the fallen log, snapping and falling into the grass unnoticed. Pointing towards the spot, Aizen gives her a hint. That fallen log near the bushes over there, maybe you should try looking there. The woman doesn't hesitate. Sure. Aizen watches with a knowing look as she rushes off. Hidden in the tall grass, right where the spirits told him it would be, lies her lost key. Her face lights up with pure joy as she spots it. It really is here. She runs back, holding the key triumphantly. Oh my, thank you very much. Aizen smiles back. Not at all, you were the one who found it. Her expression shifts from relief to intense curiosity. Excuse me, that magic you used, did you perhaps see through my past and future with it? Aizen casually dismisses her grand assumption. No, it's not a top-class magic. These kinds of prophecies can be made with any magic, since finding lost objects is a simple foretelling spell. Internally, Aizen recalls what the spirits showed him. They remembered her chasing the kobold and how the key was pulled off by a branch. The woman presses on. Are you perhaps a prominent prophet then? Aizen shakes his head. I'm not that kind of person, I can only gather the voices of the nature's spirits. He muses to himself, looks like it's her first time seeing a prophecy. Before I went anonymous, there weren't many prophets around after all. The woman claps her hands, having reached her own conclusion. I see, you are one of those spirit summoners then, I am indebted to you, could I know your names please? Aizen introduces them. Well, I'm called Aizen and she's Lynette. The woman addresses them formally, Aizen-sama, Lynette-sama, I'll definitely return this favor. Are you coming to this city to settle or just for a visit? Aizen replies, we plan to stay there for a while. She beams, extending a heartfelt invitation. Then, whenever you have the time, please come to the Alchemist's Garden at the Global Guild, I'll surely repay your kindness. Waving enthusiastically, she heads off. I'm really grateful, well then see you around. As they watch her go, Aizen remarks dryly, what an incomprehensible hyperactivity. Rin smiles, indeed, she was on cloud 9 after finding the key, and sensei you're as kind as always. The two continue on their path, the nearby city now in view. Well, I'm already in a good mood, Aizen says cheerfully. Who doesn't like a pleasant journey? Rin agrees, that's right. Aizen grins, then let's go with a smile on our faces. Our story begins in the bustling, European-style town of Pioneer City, Sagittale. Walking through the city streets are Aizen and his companion Rin. We got inside so smoothly, Rin exclaims. Aizen nods, relieved. Yes, and I'm glad the building I'm heading to is still in the same spot. They arrive at their destination, a massive building that Aizen notes is bigger than before. This is the local branch of the Global Guild. The Global Guild is a massive, world-spanning union that gathers information on every kind of professional imaginable. By registering your profession with them, you receive a global card, an essential ID that grants you passage and recognition across different territories. Rin proudly explains, the guild master even said in a letter that after I consulted with my teacher, the city's congestion and security problems were solved. Aizen listens, a memory flashing through his mind of when Rin came to him for that advice so long ago. A fond smile crosses his face as he thinks, it's amazing to see the results of that advice with my own eyes now. They step inside the guild hall, a lively place filled with adventurers and patrons eating, drinking, and planning their next moves. Making their way through the crowd, they head towards the reception counter. A friendly receptionist spots them and calls out with a bright smile, next person please. Aizen and Rin approach the desk. Welcome to the Global Guild, the receptionist greets them. What can I do for you today? Aizen gets straight to the point. I want to make a guild card. The receptionist nods professionally. Creating a global card, correct? I understand. May I ask what it will be used for? With a confident grin, Aizen declares, I want to travel around the world. The receptionist's professional smile drops, replaced by pure shock. Whoa, she gasps. Her eyes widen in realization. Is that so? You're going to be an adventurer then? Aizen seems confused by her reaction. Is that something to be surprised about? She smiles, explaining, it's just the first one I've seen since I started working here. In this time of peace, most people join a company. There are very few who become adventurers. Aizen strokes his chin thoughtfully. She's right, he muses. In the past, about 30% of people became adventurers, traveling while taking on various requests. The receptionist's smile turns warm and genuine. Hee, you guys are brave. Aizen replies, that's what I yearn for. Realizing they've gotten sidetracked, the receptionist quickly gets back to business. My bad, we went off topic. She slides a long, detailed form across the counter. Then please write your name and job on this form. Rin's eyes go wide at the sheer amount of text. Whoa, teacher, it's a huge wall of words. Look at all these job names. Aizen calmly reassures her. Well, this is your first time, Rin. He explains the process. You can choose one or more. Just circle the job you want to pick. Have you been diagnosed with a proper job in the occupation temple? As he prepares to fill out his own form, Aizen thinks back to his diagnosis. I'm sure I am a prophet and a scholar, plus about 4 or 5 other jobs. He continues his internal monologue. My previous card got destroyed during the war with the evil god. I'm glad that it can be reissued as many times as you like. But as he scans the long list of professions, he stops, a confused look on his face. What? The receptionist notices his pause. What seems to be the trouble? Aizen looks up from the form. I can't find the prophet job name. The woman's friendly demeanor vanishes instantly, replaced with shock and a hint of fear. A bead of sweat rolls down her face as she leans in and whispers, well, are you going to name yourself a prophet, really? Aizen is completely lost. Is that a bad thing, he asks. She quickly hushes him, well, if you're kidding, don't say too much. Her voice drops to a grim, serious tone. The last prophet died 15 years ago, they're extinct now. Aizen processes this startling news with a nervous smile. Extinct, huh, really? She leans in even closer, her eyes wide with terror. If you call yourself a prophet, you will be haunted by the dead and the Reaper will be summoned. But from here on, there is something even more dangerous. Rin and Aizen are completely captivated. What is it? The guild receptionist leans in, her expression serious. Perhaps you don't know, there's been a decree from the king for years. Trying to name oneself a prophet so casually is a very bad idea. She recalls the king's booming declaration. Should anyone be found naming himself a prophet, report immediately. Mobilize all guards and guild members to escort him. Aizen breaks into a cold sweat, forcing a smile. Seriously. The receptionist continues, her voice low and urgent. If you name yourself a prophet, you will be reported and secured. It will become a very big deal. Will you still call yourself a prophet? She presses. In the past, someone was captured for making that exact claim. Aizen thinks to himself, it's not a lie, but it's definitely better to keep my mouth shut here. He leans over to a nervous Rin, who gulps, sensing the sudden tension. Quickly changing his tune, Aizen laughs it off. Ah no, please just take it as a joke. I'll register for another job. Thank you for teaching me so much, Miss Receptionist. As he turns away, the receptionist smiles to herself, though a flicker of doubt remains. A person who wants to be a brave adventurer, being shaken by a single joke worries me. Aizen smirks, crossing his arms. I couldn't even tell it was a joke, he thinks. I can't get you in trouble for mobilizing the city guard. The Duke sometimes really overdoes it. He mulls over his options. A profession that doesn't stand out, one that can help you travel. A profession I'm fit for, I'll be a spiritualist. After filling out the form, he hands it back. The receptionist takes it with a smile. I've received it. I'll issue the card now, so please be patient. She places a blank card on the registration form. With a special stamp in hand, she prepares to finalize his registration. She presses the magical stamp firmly onto the card and document. A surge of energy flows from the stamp, imprinting Aizen's new identity onto the card with a flash of light. The process is complete. She proudly presents the finished guild card. Here, it is complete. I will say it once again, welcome to the Global Guild, Spiritualist Aizen-sama. Aizen takes his new card, a wide grin on his face. Thank you. But the process isn't over yet. Then, both of you, the receptionist gestures, please go to the table at the end of the counter. They follow her directions to an empty station. Aizen looks confused. Is there still something to do? She returns, presenting an ornate wooden board set with 5 glowing crystals. This is next. Aizen and Rin stare at the strange device. What is this? The receptionist places it on the table. This is a magic power research board. She puts 2 and 2 together. If you don't know, this must be your first time making a card. I see, so that's why you made that weird joke. Aizen just shrugs. It's a simple misunderstanding, but that's fine. My perception of the guild is a bit outdated. Clearing her throat, she begins her explanation. All new members have their magic power measured and are ranked from S to K. By clarifying your abilities, the guild can assign suitable jobs and reduce accidents. Aizen recalls a letter from one of his students. Speaking of which, my disciple told me he invented a tool to measure magic power for the guild. Rin looks on, intrigued. So that's the tool. The receptionist beams with pride. The one who thought of this was the guildmaster's counselor, who is one of the 100 heroes. I can't thank the heroes enough. Aizen sweats, thinking, this is embarrassing. The one who created that was my disciple. The receptionist snaps back to the task at hand. Well, let's start with Aizen-sama. Please touch the right edge of the board. Aizen steps forward, ready for the test. He places his hand on the designated spot. Here. As she prepares to take notes, she explains, the crystals will break according to your magic power. 1 crystal is K rank, all 5 is G rank. The average for a new spiritualist is H. First of all, this board. Before she can finish her sentence, all 5 crystals erupt in a violent explosion of light and energy, shocking them both. The receptionist stares, her mouth agape. Aizen looks back at her with a sheepish grin. Miss Receptionist, all of the crystals are gone. Across the guild hall, adventurers look up from their drinks. Whoa. The room begins to buzz. The new spiritualist broke all the crystals on the initial board. That's a rare thing to see. The receptionist stammers, trying to regain her composure. That's true. Aizen-sama seems to have quite a lot of magical power. I'll mark at least a G rank then. As the crowd murmurs, Aizen asks, Miss, what's after this? She quickly replies, next is, just a moment. She rushes back with a second, more durable-looking board. Please try this next. It can distinguish between F rank and D rank. I see, Aizen says, ready for round 2. The moment his hand touches the board, it too shatters instantly. The receptionist cries out, this one also completely broke. Now a proper crowd has gathered, their chatter filling the hall. No way, he passed D rank 2, this is the first time I've ever seen a rookie go that fast. Aizen notes the growing audience. It feels like there are more people now, I wonder if D ranks aren't very common. The flustered receptionist appears with a third, even more elaborate board. Aizen-sama, please use this one next. This one is marked with the highest ranks. Aizen examines it. The letters S, A, B, and C are on the board. This is probably the last one. In that case, let's finish this up. He places his hand on the final board. Immediately, the far right crystal begins to glow and pings ominously. The crowd is electric. Dang man, even the sea crystal cracked, Aizen sighs internally. It seems like this has become a show now. The receptionist begins to panic. Wow, don't tell me he's going to be a B rank. If that happens, I have to report it to the castle. I need to calm down. As she frantically thinks about royal report formats, the sea crystal continues to crack. With a loud pop, the C rank crystal shatters completely. The crowd roars. The sea crystal broke. Is it going to keep going? Aizen's eyes widen in alarm. This might not be a good thing. Just as he feared, the B rank crystal begins to glow and ping. Cracks start a spiderweb across its surface. Not wanting any more attention, Aizen focuses intently. Control my magic. The cracking slows and then stops. An abrupt silence falls over the board. The receptionist blinks in surprise. It stopped. Looking at the final result, she makes the official call. Then the measurement is over. You're a C rank then. Her shock gives way to excitement. Amazing, Aizen-sama, to suddenly become a C rank. The crowd erupts in cheers. Damn, that was awesome, new guy, a C rank spiritualist newbie. That's a huge jump over the average. Aizen gives an awkward wave. Thank you, he thinks to himself. I'm glad I was able to stop it at C rank. If I broke the B crystal, someone would have to contact the king, and that would cause a massive commotion. It would be great if I can travel without burdening my disciples or anyone around me. The receptionist is still buzzing. A little bit more and you would have been B rank. This is a wonderful result. Nearby, Rin smiles. If you say so, I'll keep that in mind. Then the last thing is a farewell gift from the guild, the receptionist announces. Please wait for a few minutes. Meanwhile, Rin has also completed her test, registering as a C rank magician to match Aizen. While they wait, Aizen turns to her. Rin, your magic is more powerful than that. You didn't have to match my rank, you know. She beams back. No, being the same as sensei is fine. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind them. Sorry for the wait. It's the receptionist, now identified as Keisha, and she's brought a man with a ponytail. Who is this? Aizen asks. Keisha-san, an introduction please. Keisha explains Dominique-san is an E-rank spiritualist. He's a 10-year veteran and he's in charge of your training as our farewell gift. Dominique grins widely. Nice to meet you, promising newbie. I will teach you all about spirits. Back at the guild, Aizen brings up something he overheard. A farewell class. Rin, sitting beside him, is just as confused. What's that? Keisha and Dominique step forward to explain. Every time a newbie makes a card, Dominique begins, we conduct free courses to help them acquire the required knowledge and skills. Aizen is impressed. Giving it for free is pretty generous, and it's in person, not just a textbook. Keisha smiles, adding, exactly. To avoid playing favorites with company textbooks, the guild hires professionals directly to teach. She explains that this system ensures a high standard for all professions, building trust with both companies and the guild itself. Keisha then reveals, incidentally, this whole mechanism was created by the guild's consultant. Her name is Felicia. Aizen's eyes widen as Keisha continues. When I thanked her, she just said, it's the result of consulting with Master, so you should be thanking him. With a fond expression, Keisha admits, at that moment I thought the teacher she was talking about must be a truly great person. Hearing this, Aizen can't help but feel a little awkward. He thinks to himself, it's a bit embarrassing since they're talking about me. He recalls the consultation letter he received from Felicia. The results of his advice are right in front of him. This must be what they call fate, he muses. Keisha mentions that the sorcerers are all busy, but Rin cheerfully chimes in, I'm alright to wait. Seeing his opening, Aizen formally accepts the offer. Well then, I'll be happy to accept, Keisha-san. Dominique-san, please take care of me. Dominique is overjoyed. Same here, Otis-san, I'm grateful you're even talking to me. I honestly thought I'd be refused because I'm just an E-rank. With the arrangements made, Dominique leads Aizen to the guild's training room on the second floor. Inside the spacious room, Dominique stands ready to begin the lesson. Alright, he starts. A spiritualist, as the name says, is a profession where you get in touch with spirits and use their magic and skills. He continues, basically, you're either asking for the help of nature's spirits, or you form a contract with them to use their power continuously. To demonstrate, Dominique reaches for his gauntlet, and a wisp of energy begins to emerge. Aizen watches intently, his curiosity piqued. A swirl of blue light gracefully wraps around Dominique's arm. That blue light is a spirit, right? Aizen asks. Dominique nods with a smile. That's right, a lower-class light spirit, one of my contracted partners. Dominique explains his line of work. I mostly get requests from companies for scouting and cartography. I have these spirits fly ahead to check for demon beasts or confirm our destination, acting as my eyes in the sky. Because you're an adventurer, Otis-san, you'll probably get fewer jobs like that from companies, he adds. Aizen nods in understanding. Thank you, Dominique-san, that helps me prepare. Dominique's expression turns serious. Next up is technique. I want to talk about how to communicate with a spirit. He holds out his hand, focusing his energy. He chants the name of the skill, Magic Ball Refinement. A small shimmering ball of light appears in his palm. Immediately, the nearby spirits are drawn to the light. They zip through the air, heading straight for the magical energy. The spirits happily absorb the magic ball. Is that communication? Eisen asks. Dominique explains, one method is trading by meal. If you give a spirit a meal called magic, it will help you in exchange. With this, I'm calling on them to sign up for a task. Dominique turns to Eisen. Did you remember the spell? Eisen thoughtfully replies, indeed, spirits are upright. They always try to return what they've received. His eyes focus. Ah, magic ball refinement, like this, right? In an instant, a massive orb of pure magic erupts from Eisen's hand, leaving Dominique completely stunned. Dominique is speechless. That's right, to learn it at a glance, and it's so big. As expected from a C rank, your magical power is amazing. Eisen gives credit where it's due. It's only because you explained it so well, Dominique-san, and thanks to this little spirit too. Dominique laughs, patting his spirit affectionately. I'm glad to hear that. There, you too, thank you for your help. The spirit lets out a happy little chirp. Eisen smiles, observing their interaction. You two have a great relationship of trust. Dominique beams with pride. Of course, we've been together for a long time. But then, Eisen asks a question that shatters his reality. Dominique-san, you don't converse with your spirit. Dominique freezes, utterly bewildered. Eisen clarifies, that blue spirit, it talks to you a lot. Dominique's jaw drops. Impossible, Otis-san, you understand the spirit's language. Eisen calmly replies, well yes I do. A wave of excitement washes over Dominique. Then that high-pitched sound it always makes when I stroke it. You know what it means. If that's true, you're incredible. He gently holds the chirping spirit. Thrusting it towards Eisen, he begs, this sound, this high-pitched sound, tell me what's it saying. Eisen leans in to listen. Well, I can hear its voice clearly, he begins. It's saying, thank you for patting and treasuring me. He continues translating, but I keep saying it doesn't matter if you use fewer magic orbs. It's saying something like that. Okay. Dominique stares, completely dumbfounded. Is that so? Suddenly all the spirits in the room start zipping around joyfully. These are happy motions, Dominique exclaims. Are you joking? I'm not lying, I just translated what it said, Eisen reassures him. Dominique can only stammer, you're amazing, Otis-san. He explains it's incredibly difficult for humans to understand the language of spirits. Only a fairly high-class spiritualist can use communication through conversation. Eisen is surprised. So talking is a difficult technique, Dominique confirms, of course it is. I've been doing this for a long time, but I only know a few words. I can finally tell its feelings from its motions, but that's it. He looks at Eisen with awe. I've heard that some people are born with the ability to speak the spirit language, but I never thought I'd see one with my own eyes, let alone a newbie. Eisen smiles to himself. He's praising me so much. Dominique is a good person. Dominique looks emotional, completely overwhelmed by the revelation. Oh, sorry, he says, covering his face. I was so surprised I was at a loss for words. He shakes his head in disbelief. You're a really promising one. I was supposed to be the teacher, but I'm the one who got taught today. He looks at Eisen and declares, that's all for the course, Otis-san. With a huge, beaming smile, Dominique gives him a thumbs up. If it's you, you'll have no problem being a spiritualist. As your senior, I'll give you my stamp of approval. He laughs, admitting defeat. You were already better than me in communication from the beginning. It's my loss. Eisen realizes just being able to talk to spirits is a huge advantage. They shake hands as colleagues. I'm sorry I couldn't teach you much, Dominique says. No, Eisen replies, I'm extremely grateful for your advice. Eisen reflects on the successful lesson. He's become acquainted with an experienced peer, and he's pretty sure he made a good impression. His lesson complete, Eisen heads back downstairs. He finds Rin at their table, poring over a large map. You're back, Eisen-sensei. I got a map of the city from Keisha-san. She points to several locations. All the inns are clearly marked. I see, Rin, it's about time we find an inn, Eisen says, joining her. Rin adds, Keisha-san said there are many good ones around the guild. Eisen looks at the map. We'll be in this city for about a week, so I want to choose a convenient place. He checks his magic bag, overflowing with cash. I checked with the barkeeper. We have enough to stay at an average inn for 3 months. This bag holds more than it looks. Rin adds another piece of good news. As adventurers, we can also sell information about where we've gone to guilds and cartographers. We won't have money problems for a while. Just then, a familiar woman approaches their table. I knew it. You're Eisen-sama and Rin-sama, right? Eisen recognizes her instantly. It's the woman whose lost key they found. Yes, I'm Eureka, an alchemist. She beams at them. Thank goodness, your names were the topic of conversation around the guild, so I came to check, to actually meet you in person. Is this fate? Eisen is taken aback. Eureka-san, are our names really that widespread? There's no need for san, Eisen-sama, she insists. I'm friends with pretty much all the professionals in the guild. Eureka explains excitedly. I heard from them that 2 people with amazing magical power had just registered. Since I was personally helped by that amazing power, I was convinced it had to be you. She leans in and I heard you two became adventurers. Is that true? Aizen confirms, well that's right. Eureka's eyes light up. Then, by all means would you please come over to our shop nearby, the Alchemist's Garden. We have everything from alchemy materials to equipment and magic tools. I'm sure it will help you as adventurers. Aizen is tempted. I'd like to check it out, but right now we need to find an inn before all the rooms are taken. Eureka grins. In that case our shop also functions as an inn, so please come stay with us. She quickly points out the location on their map. Oh, is that so? Aizen says, pleased. It sounds like a good place, I think we'll stay there. Eureka insists, I'll pay the fee. That key was really important to me, so please let me do this. Aizen accepts her generous offer. Then we'll stay at your inn. Rin, are you okay with that? Rin is ecstatic. Of course, if I can stay with Sensei, any inn is okay. Eureka promises to welcome them with everything she has. Just a short walk from the guild, Eureka proudly leads Aizen and Rin towards a massive building. Right here, she announces, this is our store. Aizen is stunned by the sheer scale of the place. The store is quite large, huh? Eureka beams with pride. Yep, fortunately it's the biggest store in the city. The ornate sign above the entrance confirms it, the Alchemist's Garden. Stepping inside the lavish hall, a uniformed employee immediately greets them. Ah, welcome back, President Eureka. Is it all right for you to be back so soon? Eureka smiles warmly, gesturing towards her new companions. Yes, I had a lucky encounter. Aizen and Rin exchange a confused glance. Aizen can't help but ask, President? Eureka turns, realizing she'd left out a key detail. Ah, right, I didn't finish introducing myself. She stands tall, making a formal declaration. I am the president of the Alchemist Company, the Alchemist's Garden. My full name is Eureka Griffin. It's a pleasure to meet you. As they're led further into the opulent building, the high ceilings and grand chandeliers speak of immense wealth. Eureka has them take a seat in a luxurious lounge area while she handles some business. Meanwhile, two employees in the background start gossiping. So that's the spiritualist who helped President Eureka. The other whispers, apparently he's a total newbie. Word from the guild is that two amazing people just showed up. One of them continues, sizing Aizen up from a distance. The president might be a little careless, but she's still really strong. I'm wondering how some spiritualist could have actually helped her. Can he really be the guy causing all those rumors? He mutters, as Aizen sits silently, overhearing every word. Rin leans in, whispering to her master. Somehow, it's becoming the same situation as at the guild, Sensei. Aizen sighs, yeah, the guild is nearby, but I'm still surprised how fast that rumor traveled. Just then, Eureka returns with an older, monocled gentleman. The room will be ready soon, she says. May we talk with you here in the meantime? Aizen nods, yes, sure. Aizen gets straight to the point. So, Eureka, you're the president of this massive store. Why was someone like you foraging for herbs on the outskirts of the city? Eureka explains, I was looking for herbs for a negotiation. The ones out there are tricky to make potions with, so I went alone to prove I could do it myself. The older man beside her looks relieved. President Eureka, he begins before turning to Aizen. I'm sorry to have troubled you today, and thank you for your assistance. Eureka waves it off with a smile. It's fine, it was my decision to go, and it was my mistake to lose the key to the magic warehouse. She then points directly at Aizen and Rin. If you want to thank someone, thank these two people right here. The man bows deeply, his voice filled with gratitude. Aizen-sama, Rin-sama, for helping our president. No, for saving our company's negotiations, I offer you my sincerest thanks. It was a really important deal. Aizen brushes off the praise with his usual modesty. Well, all I did was find a key, so you don't have to go that far. He then adds almost to himself, no, I'm sorry, I just thought it was strange. Eureka giggles at his humble reaction, leaving Aizen and Rin a bit confused. Rin looks at Aizen thoughtfully. You know, watching you, Aizen-sama, I'm reminded of the person who trained me. You have a similar vibe. Aizen's interest is piqued. The person who trained you. Eureka chimes in, explaining her own philosophy. I should call her my master, she taught me so many things. She would always say, do your own part, you should do what you can, even if you have the same role as someone else. She continues, I learned that from one of the 100 heroes who became the president of a university, so I'm just following her example. Rin is stunned. Eureka-san's master is one of the 100 heroes. Eureka smiles proudly. Yes, the president of Kunamiya Magic University, Mel-san. The name instantly triggers a memory for Aizen. A small witch on a broom flashes in his mind. Ah, Mel the witch was an energetic child, he remarks, so you are her disciple. Eureka nods, that's right, though I went to a branch school nearby instead of the main one in the capital. She doesn't just stay in the capital, Eureka explains, she flies all over for her job. For the last few years, she's been teaching at a university near this city. The scene shifts to that very university branch, focusing on the door to the president's room. Inside a library-filled office, an assistant approaches a woman with long, flowing hair and a witch's hat. President Mel Rose, here is this week's report from the guild. Mel Rose takes the report, a calm smile on her face. Thanks, I'll look it over. As she flips through the pages, her assistant hesitates. He has more to report than just guild business. Mel looks up, sensing his unease. The assistant speaks nervously, and there is someone who wants to meet with you, a suspicious guest hiding his face with a magic mask. Mel's smile turns knowing. He has already contacted me, let him through. Heavy footsteps approach the office door. A large cloaked man wearing a strange mask enters, startling the assistant. Mel addresses the imposing figure without a hint of surprise. It's rare for you to travel so far from the capital, Disciple Duke. The man reaches for his mask. He removes it, revealing a powerful-looking man with a magnificent beard and mustache. I had worked nearby, so I decided to drop in for a visit. But his expression quickly turns serious, filled with a profound excitement. I have to tell you something about Master Aizen. The disciple's dearest wish may finally be fulfilled. In a grand office, Disciple Duke delivers a world-shaking revelation. The other day, we performed a regular fortune-telling, he begins, his voice grave. Soon, a powerful prophet will appear in this world. The news hits Mel Rose like a lightning bolt. She stands abruptly, her composure shattered. A prophet, she exclaims, the master is returning, but Duke quickly tempers her excitement. No, the prophecy didn't specify it was Master Aizen or even when it will happen. The details are unclear. Mel Rose sinks back, processing his words. That's right, she murmurs, to have that level of accuracy, the power would have to be on par with the master's. A smile returns to her face, filled with new resolve. Whoever it is, anyone with the aptitude of a prophet is precious. We must welcome them with all our might, especially if it turns out to be our master. Duke nods in agreement. The guild has already been given instructions, so we are preparing to welcome him. Their excitement is palpable. That's right, I want to welcome Master Aizen as well, Duke declares. Mel Rose beams, then I have to finish my work so I can greet the master properly. The conversation shifts as Duke glances out the window. Speaking of work, he says, I heard you're serving as the master of the global guild here in the Pioneer City. Mel Rose gives a modest smile. It was on a whim. Being a master is quite hard, but it's fun. I get to find and teach children with different ideas than those in the capital. She picks up a report from her desk, her expression pleased. I get weekly reports on new professionals in the city's guild. It lets me track the distribution of ranks and occupations. It's been a good harvest this season. But her smile fades as she continues. We have new D ranks, even some C ranks. It's true that more people are looking toward the future, but there is one bad thing too. An image of grotesque monsters flashes through her mind. For the past few months, the number of monsters around the Pioneer City has increased. Many of them have high physical defense, so we're running out of magicians. Duke's expression turns serious as he considers the implications. That could lead to a deterioration in public safety. As soon as you return to the capital, we should consider dispatching professional magicians. Mel Rose makes a decision. Letters, I'll leave it to you, Disciple Duke. Since reports are always written, I'd like to send one to Master Aizen again. She looks out towards the city beyond her office, a hopeful look in her eyes. Actually, it would be best if the master just came over here. Duke simply replies, I see, understanding her sentiment completely. The scene shifts, and as a new day dawns over the city rooftops, our focus returns to another place entirely. Aizen's eyes flutter open. He sits up a bit surprised. Oh, this is rare. He looks over to the other bed where Rin is still sound asleep. Usually, Rin gets up earlier than me. Rin murmurs in her sleep, a blissful smile on her face. Fumiya, sensei, it's warm. Aizen can't help but smile softly. He thinks to himself, I'll let her sleep a bit longer. But just then, Rin begins to stir. She lets out a big yawn, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Oh, you're awake, Aizen says with a friendly smile. Rin's eyes focus, and she sees Aizen already dressed and sitting across the room. Realization dawns and she bolts upright in a panic. I am so sorry I got up late. Aizen calmly reassures her, no need to apologize, it's okay to relax. But Rin shakes her head, still flustered. No, for me, a member of the disciples who want to take care of the master faction, this is a major mess up, she says, looking utterly defeated. Aizen chuckles. I don't think such a faction exists, maybe, but you'd be surprised how many of the letters we get say things like that. Rin looks up, intrigued. Is that so? He explains gently, you were just tired from going out yesterday, Rin. Our body clocks are messed up from traveling the world, and I did use a lot of magic to move us around. His words only fuel her determination. Clenching her fists, Rin declares, in the future, I want to get up at least at the same time as you, sensei. Your endurance is insane, but I have to at least adapt to it. Aizen smiles warmly at her spirit. It's not a bad thing to gain physical strength, he thinks. I think she should do her best. Seeing her wide awake and full of energy, he says, okay, well then, Rin. Now that you're completely awake after breakfast, let's take a look at the town and its surroundings. Rin's eyes light up with pure joy. Ah yes, let's go on an adventure, sensei. As the morning sun shines over the quaint town, Aizen's voice rings out. Haha, okay, sightseeing in Sagittale. Aizen and Rin take some time to explore the bustling marketplace of the pioneer city, soaking in the sights and sounds. They browse the local stalls, with Aizen checking out some exotic-looking meats, while Rin admires the fresh flowers and produce. Suddenly Rin spots something special. "Sensei," she calls out, "it's the juice of the pioneer city's special fruit." They both grab a cup. "This is delicious," Aizen exclaims, and Rin happily agrees, "Yeah, it's delicious." Their tour of the city continues. They take in all the local color, with Rin even stopping to make friends with a horse. The two make their way through the city square, enjoying a perfect, peaceful day. As the sun shines brightly, they find a special spot to take in the view. Their sightseeing takes them to a place called the Alchemist's Garden Rooftop. "Wow, it's beautiful," Rin says, amazed by the sprawling cityscape. Aizen smiles, enjoying the breeze. "Yes, it's peaceful and has a good view." Rin adds, "Fortunately, Eureka-san opened the roof specially for us." Aizen points towards the distant hills. "There should be a branch of the Magic University beyond that hill, but I can't see it." Rin remembers, "The one that Mel-san is at." This gives Aizen an idea. "You've read about her in my letters, but she's a truly excellent witch. I'll introduce you to her later." Rin is taken aback by the offer. "Huh, is it okay to use your time like that for me?" "It's a good idea to meet her," Aizen insists. "Having a connection with an excellent person is a plus for you." Touched by his consideration, Rin smiles warmly. "Aizen-sensei, you're always thinking about me. Then, I'd be glad to be introduced to her." Just then, a loud bell rings out across the city, catching their attention. Aizen recognizes the sound. That's the bell of the Global Guild, announcing midday. He checks his pocket watch, realizing how quickly time has passed. "Wow, we've spent a lot of time just going around the city." "Let's have lunch at the guild," Aizen suggests. Rin is immediately on board. "I agree, they have dishes you can only get in the Pioneer City's guild." And she wasn't kidding. A sizzling platter of delicious-looking food is served right to their table. After finishing their meal, Aizen leans back satisfied. He recalls a letter from Mel. She wrote that the nearby fertile land produces delicacies, and she was right. Both the vegetables and the meat were amazing. He smiles contentedly. "I'm glad I came to this city. This is the best part of traveling." But across the room, someone spots them. "Ah, as I thought, it's Aizen-san and his friend." A woman rushes over to their table. "It's good that you are still in this city." Aizen looks up, recognizing her. "The receptionist, Keisha-san." "Yes, I am Keisha," she confirms, looking a bit frantic. "There is something I need you to help with," she blurts out. Aizen's expression sharpens. "In other words, a request." Keisha explains the dire situation. "Actually, the spirit of the wind is making a fuss on the farmland near the city. We don't have enough manpower, and only a magician or a spiritualist can deal with it. That's why I need help from both of you," she pleads. Aizen listens intently, understanding the gravity of the situation. Keisha continues, "The farmland and orchards are being ravaged by the spirit's tornado. There's also a path for students heading to the Magic University, and I'm afraid they'll get hurt. If this goes on, the whole city will be in danger." Aizen processes the information, his brow furrowed in thought. "I see, that is not good." He remembers Mel's letters about the excellent students and the specialty farms. "We can't let the students Mel is so proud of or the farmers get hurt. Can we be the ones to help?" Keisha's face lights up with hope. "Yes, it is a request specifically for C-rank Aizen-sama and Rin-sama." "Then I'll gladly accept this request, Keisha-san," Aizen declares. Rin chimes in immediately. "Me too, I'll help sensei." "Thank you so much," Keisha says, relieved. "Please come this way. I'll introduce you to the person who will explain the request and accompany you." Inside the reception room, a man with his arms crossed looks up in surprise. "Huh, isn't it Atisu-san and his friend?" He stands up to greet them. "Dominique-san, I see, no need for san. I'm honored to suddenly be working with these C-ranks." "Best regards, Dominique," Aizen replies. "My spiritualist skill allows me to have conversations with spirits, which should be a big help." Dominique smiles. "Same here, please treat me well. Same goes for the magician over there." Dominique adds with a nervous sweat, "I thought this was a nasty request, but suddenly there's hope." Aizen picks up on the word. "Nasty? Huh, Keisha-san, can you tell me more about this request?" Keisha nervously gets ready to brief them. She unrolls a map on the table. The forest is between the farm and the orchard. The request is to calm down the wind spirit there. You can use any method that works, subjugation, repulsion, anything. Rin leans in, her eyes focused. "So the method we use is up to us, right?" "Yes," Keisha says with a determined look. "I'm counting on your power. The opponent is powerful, so I'm leaving it to you." In a remote forest, a massive tornado tears through the trees. A voiceover from Keisha explains the situation. The tornado appears constantly, but the spirit causing it remains unseen. Guild scouts estimate its class to be at least lower or higher grade. Back at the Adventurers Guild, Aizen questions the guild master, Keisha. "How did it get like this? If a spirit goes wild, there has to be a reason." Keisha looks troubled. "You're right, spirits don't rage without cause, but our scouts questioned everyone nearby and they all said it just happened suddenly. The reason for its anger is completely unknown. She lays out the mission details. That's why the request is to calm the spirit down. I also want you to investigate the cause if possible. Of course, she adds with a pointed finger, we'll pay extra for any data you bring back. Aizen processes the information. Investigate the cause and calm it down, he muses. This has to be at least a D-rank difficulty quest, that's pretty high. Rin looks up at Keisha, surprised. This is difficulty D, Keisha nods grimly. Yes, the spirit is immune to physical attacks and the cause of the outbreak is a mystery. That's what makes this a high-level request. A seasoned adventurer named Dominique smiles confidently. A D-rank quest is a serious jump in difficulty. I only took this because I have 10 years of experience as a spiritualist. It's a tense job for sure. But as he observes his new partners, Dominique thinks to himself, but Aizen-san and his friend, they don't seem nervous at all. They look completely at ease. Aizen catches his glance and says, is that so? Well, of course, we are C-rank after all. Dominique continues his internal thought, a small smile on his face. And yet, I don't sense any arrogance from them. He decides to speak his mind. For a newly minted C-rank to immediately take on a D-rank quest, most would be reeking of arrogance. Dominique gives them a genuine, impressed look. But you two aren't like the usual promising newbies. I'm really happy to be working with you. Aizen smiles back, I'm glad you think so, then let's head to the location at once. Rin eagerly agrees, yes, sensei, while Dominique adds, okay, Aizen-san. As they prepare to leave, Keisha smiles warmly. She sees them off from the guild's entrance, calling out, the guild is providing body recovery potions. Everyone, please be careful. The team sets out, leaving the bustling town behind. Aizen, Rin, and Dominique walk along a stone path leading towards the wilderness. Suddenly they stop on a hill as a fierce wind whips around them. Aizen's eyes fix on the horizon. That's the tornado. Rin gasps, her eyes wide with awe and fear. Wow, it's huge. Before them, the colossal vortex churns, ripping trees from the earth. Aizen stares at it, a thoughtful expression on his face. Ah, so this is it. Dominique squints at the swirling mass. It's more of a localized storm than a tornado. Aizen turns to their specialist. According to the guild scout, there's a spirit at the center of this thing, right, Dominique? The spiritualist nods grimly. Yes. Dominique steps forward, taking charge. Because of its wide range, we'll have to walk for a while. I'll take the lead and make a path for you too. He holds out his hand, gathering spirit energy into a glowing orb. With a soft whisper, he casts his spell, Spirit Art Little Veil. The energy shoots upwards. It expands above them, forming a protective dome. A translucent barrier envelops the trio, shielding them from the raging winds. Aizen watches the barrier form. Roger, he says, closing his eyes, but before that, the earth and the atmosphere give me your voice. Dominique turns to them. With this, if you follow me, you can ignore the wind for the most part. You too should preserve your power. He notices Aizen's incantation. Did you use some kind of defensive magic? Aizen replies vaguely. Something like that. Let's go, Dominique. The team agrees and moves forward. Protected by the shimmering veil, the party ventures into the heart of the storm-ravaged forest. Aizen smiles. It's nice not getting sand in our eyes because of your defense. Dominique nods, thanks for the praise, but this can only stop things like sand. He issues a stark warning. It can't prevent big or sharp objects, so be careful. Just as he says this, Aizen's expression sharpens. Aizen's voice is suddenly firm and urgent. If that's the case, Dominique, crouch now. Completely bewildered, Dominique still obeys. Like this, okay, but why? Aizen's eyes are locked on something unseen. Soon, the stone spirit set a stake is about to fly right here. Dominique's confusion instantly turns to alarm. The very next second, a massive, splintered wooden stake smashes into the ground, exactly where Dominique's head had been moments before. A cold sweat breaks out on Dominique's face as he stares at the deadly projectile. That was dangerous. I almost got skewered. He turns to Aizen, completely baffled. Was that some kind of precognition? How did you know? Aizen calmly shakes his head. It's not foresight or anything like that. Aizen explains, I was just listening to the voices from the surrounding spirits, so I understood the situation. Dominique is floored. You're listening to spirits in this wind. Yes, Aizen confirms. It's easier than trying to see what's happening with my eyes. Dominique can only stare in awe. That's amazing concentration, Aizen-san. Does it get easier with practice? He shakes his head, thoroughly impressed. No, your skill is so high, it's hard to believe you're a newbie. Still on the ground, Dominique asks, is it okay for me to get up now? Aizen nods. Yes, it's okay now, let's proceed. The wind howls even more fiercely as they push deeper into the forest. Finally, they break through the tree line into a clearing. Dominique points ahead. We can see it now. At the calm center of the raging storm sits a single, large, glowing egg. That's the spirit that caused the tornado, Aizen states. Dominique squints, trying to analyze it. I can't tell its class or kind from here, we'll have to get closer. But as they watch, cracks begin to form on the egg's surface. The cracks spread rapidly before the shell shatters outward. The team watches, frozen in anticipation. From within the broken shell, a humanoid female figure emerges, radiating immense power. Dominique's professional calm shatters. Wait, please wait. His face turns pale with dawning horror as he recognizes the signs. An individual that can take a human shape, with this much magical power, he stammers, his voice filled with dread. That's a senior spirit. An ethereal being floats in the forest clearing, its form made of pure wind and magic. This is a senior spirit. Dominique's eyes widen in terror as the realization hits him. So that's why the scout couldn't read its magic power. It's a spirit, this is bad. He knows exactly what they're up against. Senior spirits only exist in sacred places. To even stand against one, you need to be a B-rank magician. But to actually fight it, you need an A-ranker or it's impossible. His mind races, calculating their odds. C-rank magicians should escape immediately. This is a B difficulty situation at minimum. But his resolve hardens. But as a guild professional, I have to make an escape for the promising duet behind me. They still have a future. As Dominique prepares for the inevitable clash, Eisen calmly observes the entity. It's coming, Dominique mutters, but Eisen replies, but it doesn't seem to be hostile. Ignoring Eisen's observation, Dominique begins to channel his magic. I should strengthen our defense and prepare for the fight. The senior spirit doesn't even move. It simply raises a hand and points a single, delicate finger towards them. Dominique's face contorts in shock. In an instant, a hurricane-force blast of wind erupts from the spirit's fingertip. The raw power sends Dominique flying backward, tumbling through the air. He's thrown across the clearing like a ragdoll, crashing hard into the ground. Coughing on the ground, Dominique realizes his little veil spell barely saved him. Wind blow magic, with just one finger, are they safe? He looks over and sees Eisen and Rin standing perfectly still, untouched by the blast. The spirit only targeted him. Good, if I become a decoy, they should be able to escape. He tries to push himself up, but a horrifying realization dawns on him. My body can't move, I'm numb. As the spirit slowly raises its finger for a second attack, Dominique's mind screams, this is bad. Paralyzed, all he can do is shout a desperate warning. The next one is coming, Eisen-san, escape. Eisen remains completely calm. Save your words, he says, before uttering a simple command. Kane, cut apart. The spirit points again, unleashing another devastating wave of wind. But Eisen stands his ground, his staff beginning to glow. A massive arc of pure energy slices through the air, cleaving the wind attack in two. The powerful magic dissipates harmlessly around him. Dominique can only stare from the ground, his face a mask of utter disbelief. Eisen turns, his expression unchanged. Dominique, are you okay? Still in shock, Dominique stammers, yes, Eisen-san, what exactly did you do just now? Eisen offers a slight smile. I just used a little magic. But internally, he knows the truth. He used prophecy magic, a power lost to this world, to momentarily rewrite reality and give his staff the ability to slice through the wind itself. He stands confidently, his staff still radiating power. For the first time, the senior spirit's stoic expression breaks, replaced by one of genuine surprise. Eisen begins to walk forward. Now, let's proceed like this. The spirit tests him, flicking its finger and sending small, concentrated blasts of wind at him. The projectiles are like magical bullets, but Eisen is unfazed. He advances steadily, his staff glowing. With casual, precise movements, he deflects every single blast. He parries the attacks with an ease that shouldn't be possible. The spirit's assault is completely neutralized as he closes the distance. Seeing her attacks fail, the spirit unleashes a wider barrage of projectiles. Suddenly, Rin is there, her twin blades a blur as she expertly deflects the storm of attacks aimed at Eisen. Dominique watches completely floored. Amazing. He can't believe their skill. Are you used to close combat? Rin answers brightly, never missing a beat. Yes, Dominique-san, Eisen-sensei's martial arts skill is also high. Despite their incredible display, Dominique's hope fades, but it's impossible to do more than this. What's impossible, he thinks. We can't do anything to that senior spirit, she's at a level only A-rank professions can fight. Eisen turns back to him, a knowing smile on his face. No, we don't have to fight her, Dominique. Dominique is baffled. He scrambles to protest. No way you want to talk with her, it's too dangerous. What if she doesn't have consciousness, or what if you upset her, we won't just be getting hurt. Eisen simply shrugs off the warning. Well, we'll deal with that if it happens. Anyway, I'll try it. Ignoring Dominique's pleas, Eisen walks calmly towards the immensely powerful being. He stops a few feet away and asks casually, hey, got a minute? The spirit seems taken aback by his audacity. She looks at him, a flicker of shock in her eyes. She touches her own throat, as if surprised she can even form a sound. A single word escapes her lips. You, Eisen nods, just as I thought she can communicate. He explains to the others, this senior spirit has consciousness. Obviously her eyes show that she's sentient. The spirit glares, her voice low and menacing. Maybe. Dominique sees her expression and prepares for the worst. Is she upset? In case something happens, I'll hold her back and let the newcomers escape. Suddenly the spirit throws her head back in frustration. God, human language is so bothersome. If you don't use spirit language, I won't answer. Then her tone shifts entirely as she points a trembling finger at Aizen. You're the prophet Aizen, right? The one who defeated the evil gods, protected the spirit queen, and taught magic to the current spirit king. Aizen is completely blindsided. That's right. The spirit's entire demeanor flips. The terrifying entity is now a squealing fangirl. Kyaa, awesome to meet you here, I'm a big fan. Aizen can only ask, do you know me? Yes, of course, she gushes. You're famous in the spirit world. You're the hero who saved us all. Your magic movies are super popular. My senpai even knows the retired spirit emperor, and they always talked about a kind and powerful person who took care of everyone. Aizen is baffled. Famous? I've never heard this before. I defeated the evil gods, sure, but a hero. I was in a different world, I didn't even know about the spirit world. The spirit giggles. I was still half asleep and didn't notice you right away. It was like seeing a cat curled up to sleep. Aizen turns to Dominique, who is witnessing this bizarre exchange with a slack jaw. Aizen-san, what is this combination of high and low voices? Is this okay? Aizen smiles, completely at ease. Yes, she's friendlier than I thought, can you leave her to me?